Alright, support 8.3 notes. So this is synthetic division. So what we want to do is write down the coefficients that we're using. Okay? So I got a 1, a -8, a 36, and a -25. Then down here below it, I'm going to draw a little box, and then another little box right here. So what goes in this little box is what we call our C, and the C is always opposite sign than this number here. So since that's a -6, my C is going to be a +6. So when you're in factor form, you always change the sign of C when you bring it down here. Now, this last little box is going to be my remainder. It's always under the last column. So what you do is you bring the first number down, 1, and put it under the box. And then to get the next number here, we take that 1 times 6. 1 times 6 is 6. So we want to get this number here by adding these two numbers. -8 and 6 is a -2. Now we want to get this next column's number, so we take that -2 from the prior column times 6. -2 times 6 is -12. So we need this number now by adding 36 and -12, give me 24. And then finally I'm going to get the last number for this column, 24 times 6. So what's that? 144? Okay, so we can always bring our calculators down here. So I did what? 24 times 6. And that gave me my 144. Now I'm going to add that 144 to that -25. Oh, hang on, I said -25, so 144 plus -25 is going to give us 119. Now, to write this answer, these are the coefficients of the new polynomial, and the new polynomial starts out 1 degree than the highest exponent. So since the highest exponent is 3, the next in the answer is going to start with a b squared. So we got 1b squared minus 2b. So I'm just going to keep writing my numbers in order until I get down to my last number. So b squared minus 2b plus 24, and that's my remainder. And my remainder is 119. Okay, so that's all there is to that. So number 2, I have 3b to the third plus 9b squared plus 4b minus 7, and I'm going to divide that by b plus 2. Alright, so I'm going to write my coefficients again. 3, 9, 4, -7. I'm going to draw my little box. And remember, the last box is going to be my remainder. Alright, here's my C, and my C is going to be -2 since the factor is a +2. Alright, y'all, and all I'm going to do is start bringing down the first number. The first one always comes down. And then I get this second number. I'm going to do 3 times -2 is -6. Add them together, 9 and -6 give me 3. 3 times -2 is -6. Add 4 and -6, you get -2. -2 times -2 is 4, which means my remainder is -7 plus 4 is -3. Now remember, my answer is going to start out 1 degree less than a 3, because that was the highest exponent of my original polynomial. So that's going to be 3b squared plus 3b minus 2, and my remainder equals -3. And it always keeps going downhill on these exponents until you get to that number, okay? Alright, number 3. I got a to the third minus 4a squared plus a 8. All that's being divided by a minus 3. Alright, so I need to write my coefficients, but notice I got an a cubed, an a squared term. I don't have an a term here, so I'm going to have to use a 0, and then I got the number. So watch this. I got a 1, negative 4, 0, and then my constant term, 8. I'll tell you a trick. Whatever the highest exponent is, you need plus 1 to that to get the how many numbers you need here. So before I had a 3, add 1 to that, I needed 4 numbers. I have an exponent 3, I need 4 numbers, so I need zeros for the missing exponent terms, okay? Alright, over here's my C. Since that's minus 3, my C will be a plus 3. And then here's going to be my remainder. Alright, here we go. The first number always comes down. 1 times 3 is 3. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. 8 and negative 9 give us negative 1. Alright, so I'm going to show you a different way that they're writing the answers on this one. So they're writing the polynomial. Since that's a cubed, this is going to start out as 1a squared minus 1a minus 3. Now, what they're doing, they're writing plus or remainder, but they're writing remainder as fractional form. So it's going to be negative 1, because that's the actual remainder, so that goes on top. And on bottom is what we divided by, which was the a minus 3. So y'all, that's just another way they use to write the answers. It's the same meaning as what we've been doing, okay? Alright, 4. Alright, so I got a 8x to the 4th minus 69x squared minus 27 all divided by x minus 3. Alright, since this has an x4, I need 5 numbers, so I'm going to have to find where my 2 missing terms are. So I got the x4 term, so that's an 8. I don't have an x3 term, so that's going to be a 0. I got the x squared term, which is negative 69. Uh-oh, I don't have the x term, so that's going to be 0. And then my constant term is the negative 27. Alright, so bring down our box, and remember the last one's going to be our remainder. Now, since that's a negative 3, my C will be a positive 3. Alright, y'all, here we go. Bring down to 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 0 plus 24 is 24. 24 times 3, so let's see, 24 times 3, turn it on. 24 times 3, it's going to give me 72. 72, negative 69 gives me positive 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And y'all look at here. Negative 27 and 27 means I have a remainder of 0. So how are we going to write this answer? Right, 1 degree less than that x4. So that's going to give me 8x to the 3rd plus 24x squared, and I just keep going down until I'm done, plus 3x plus my number, which is 9. And remember, since I didn't have a 0, no remainder, I don't need to put anything else. Alright, 5, let's see, 5w to the 4th minus 23w to the 3rd plus 45w plus 16 all divided by w minus 4. Alright, so since that's a 4, I need 5 numbers, so something's missing. So let's see what we got. For the W4, I got a 5. I got the W3, so that's a negative 23. Ooh, I don't have the W squared, so that's going to be a 0. I got the W, that's a 45. And then I got the constant term. So then let me draw my box. And over here is going to be my C. So since that's -4, my C will be a +4. Alright, so y'all know the drill. Bring that first number down. So the 5 comes down. Multiply the 5 times the 4 and get a 20 for the next column. -23 plus 20 gives me a -3. Alright, next column, -3 times 4 is -12. 0 and -12 give me -12. Alright, next column, -12 times 4 is a -48. -48 and 45 give me a -3. And then -3 times 4 gives me a -12. 16 and -12 give me a remainder of 4. Alright, so let's see. Let's write our answer. 1 degree less than that W4 means that I got 5W to the third minus 3W squared minus 12W minus 3, and the remainder equals 4. Alright, y'all, moving on to number 6. So see, I'm just going to try to write my answers after writing on that answer for you on the homework, okay? Alright, let's see what I got. X to the third minus 2x squared minus 7 divided by parentheses x plus 2. Alright, so let's see, that's a 3, so I need 4 numbers, so I got to put 0 for whoever's missing. So I got 1 for the x3, -2 for the x squared, 0 since there's no x, and then my constant term is -7. Draw my little box with my remainder, and over here I'm going to put my C. Since that's a +2, my C is a -2. Alright, y'all, once again, the first number comes straight down. And then 1 times -2 is -2. -2 plus -2 is -4. -4 times -2 is +8. 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 times -2 is -16. So on this one, -7 and -16 give me a remainder of -23. Alright, so let's find our quotient, which will be this part. So since that was an x3, this starts 1 degree less. So that's going to be 1x squared minus 4x plus 8. And then the remainder equals -23. Now y'all, let's see. Okay, I got time for another one. So number 7. X to the 5 plus x to the 3 minus x squared, all that divided by x minus 3. Alright, so I need 6 numbers because that's an x5. So I got the x5 term is a 1. There's no x4 term, so that's a 0. x3 term is a 1. There's an x squared term, which is a -1. There's no x term, so that's a 0. And to get my last number, there's no constant term or number, so that's a 0. So bring out the box. So you got to count for all these before I've had that number at the end, which we call a constant term. So if there's not one there, you got to put the 0. Alright, my C is going to be a +3 since that's a -3. Alright, so here we go. The first one comes straight down. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. 30 and -1 equals 29. 29 times 3, so if you want help, let's see, turn it on. 29 times 3. What's that? 87. So that's 87 plus 0 is 87. 87 times 3 is 261, which means 0 and 261 give me a remainder of 261. Alright, so how we write the quotient? 1 degree less than that x5 means this is 1x4 plus 3x to the third plus 10x squared plus 24x plus 87. So notice I just start 1 degree and just keep going down. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Because that's like an x to the 0, but remember x to the 0 is 1, so we don't write an x at all on that. And then my remainder is going to be the 261. Oh yeah, so there's like one more of these. I could probably knock out this number 8 real quick. I got a B4 minus 81 divided by B minus 3. Alright, so that's a B4. I need 5 numbers. So I got the B4. There's no B3s, no B squared, no B's, but I do have my number, which is a negative 81. Then we'll draw my little box. My C will be a positive 3, since that's a negative 3. Alright, here we go. Bring down to 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 0 plus 27 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. Negative 81 and 81 equals 0. So this one does not have a remainder. And remember, my answer is going to start 1 degree less than that B4, which means I got 1b to the third plus 3b squared plus 9b plus 27. And once again, remember my remainder was 0. Alright, y'all, so that's those 8 problems, so good luck.